some of our wine auction committee folks in the audience this morning, so thanks for getting up and coming in. All right, diabetes. The typical treatment for it is medication, but medication oftentimes leaves you in a maintenance type of state. But how would you like to get rid of the symptoms, in some cases reverse the actual damage? Joining us, Dr. Stanley Lewis. He's with Diabetes Relief. Also, Brandy Meserly, who's a patient. She has type 2, and your type 2 is doing what now?
I actually have type 1.
You have type 1, okay.
Mm-hmm. And before I started coming, my feet were very dry and cold, and my energy was terrible. I had no energy. My blood sugar was out of control. My A1C was creeping up, and I just had, like, no hope because I was trying everything.
All right, you found hope, and before we talk about that, let me talk about type 1, type 2. Sometimes people get that confused, type 1, type 2, and then I've heard something circulating about like a type 3 even.
Well, type 3 is usually considered gestational diabetes.
Okay.
But, right, type 1 is usually insulin dependent. Patients tend to be thin, and they actually have inability of their pancreas to produce insulin.
Okay.
Usually it's relative to some autoimmune disorder. Type 2, on the other hand, is more associated with being overweight patients, but both types of diabetes.
More related to lifestyle, type 2?
Right, and those patients may or may not need insulin replacement. They may be able to control their blood sugars with oral medications, but for the most part, both of these diseases end with the same issue, which is the inability to process carbohydrates.
Yeah, and what happens in the body are some of the things that she described. Describe what diabetes really does to the body. It really just breaks it down.
Well, absolutely. And what we do in treating diabetes is really, like you said, really more of a maintenance. But what we're trying to do at Diabetes Relief is to actually get back to the root cause of what is the problem in diabetes. And what we found is that the pancreas and the liver, the communication that occurs when the pancreas releases insulin, is broken. And what we do is we try to restore that normal physiology and repair that communication.
Yeah. All right, so type 1 for how long?
5 years.
5 years. All right, and what were you doing to treat it?
I take insulin regularly, count my carbs, walk or exercise.
Yeah, doing all the things that you were told to do, but yet you weren't feeling good.
I wasn't feeling good, and it wasn't getting better. It was getting worse.
Yeah. And how are you feeling today, and why?
Today, my feet finally warmed up, and I had very deep fissures in my heels that were painful.
Yeah. Which that can be, that's one of those things that can,
neuropathy.
Basically, neuropathy there, and then of course if you get any kind of little cut or anything, those little cuts can end up being deadly or force amputations, right?
Oh, absolutely. So that's one of the things that is very frustrating about the treatment of diabetes, is that while you can do lots of things to improve the hemoglobin A1C or the numbers, the glucose levels, the problem we see is that we can't reverse some of these complications, the neuropathies, the nephropathies, the retinopathies. Those sorts of things are really difficult to treat, and at Diabetes Relief, that's what we're focused on.
Yeah, because diabetes will impact every part of the body. Number one reason for renal failure, blindness, heart disease, all that type of stuff, and amputations and the whole bit. Okay, let's talk about what this treatment was, or what it is, and then how you found out about it. And you actually travel from another state to come get your treatment, right? Because this is not readily available everywhere.
Right. Brandy is extraordinary. She comes all the way from Utah, actually, to receive her treatments. She started out getting treatments twice a week. And then as she improved, she went down to once every, now she's down to once every, twice a month, and working toward once a month really soon.
So what is the treatment? Basically, we've got good cells and bad cells in the body, but what is the actual treatment?
It's an infusion treatment. And basically what we do is we approximate the normal physiology that occurs between the pancreas and the liver. Okay. So that's how we are able to improve, and if you see that on your screen, you'll see that when folks eat, the blood sugar goes up, the pancreas recognizes that, and then is able to produce insulin. The insulin triggers the cells to take in the sugar, as well as it triggers the liver to give off enzymes, to secrete enzymes that help the cells metabolize that food.
So basically, we were kind of talking about earlier, you're fixing the problem as opposed to medicating the problem.
Right. So what our current medications, what traditional medications do right now, is they just coax the pancreas into producing more insulin. And while that can help to reduce the hemoglobin A1C and reduce the blood sugar, and that there are benefits to that, it doesn't start to get at the root cause,
Yeah.
which is that communication between the pancreas and the liver is broken. And if that is not repaired, you can continue to suppress
Decline,
you can continue to suppress the blood sugar, but all of the complications of diabetes, those just rage on.
Yeah, all right. So basically, you feel like it's been reversed for you.
Yeah, my feet are warm and the cracks are gone. My A1C dropped a full point within 2 months.
Would you say you feel normal again?
I do feel normal again. I feel like my regular life is back.
Wow. Okay, so let me ask this. So is this something that you said that she's kind of reduced the amount of time? Is this something that can be fixed for good eventually, or is this kind of like a maintenance, but you just go to see how many you might need? But again, once you start the program, oftentimes patients can lower their need for it.
Right. So although Brandy's extraordinary,
yeah.
we love her. Her results actually aren't. So we do see a lot of patients experience exactly what she has. It can start out as we always start out with twice a week. And then we reduce that. Sometimes patients can go out to once every month or once every 2 or 3 months with their treatments. But it's not a cure for diabetes, so you will have to keep these treatments up.
But it's amazing that you have people that I've seen that they were scheduled for amputations who didn't need them.
Yes.
Or those who had amputations, but with this treatment, they were able to heal properly, which is something that's very difficult for diabetics to do. You had one guy who was coming in a wheelchair, graduated to a walker, and now is walking in.
Yes. I mean, you know all of our patients.
Yeah.
Many of them came to us actually through watching your show, so we're very, very excited about that.
All right, tell us about this right here.
Okay. So a lot of our patients are overweight.
Right.
So some of our patients have come to us and said, can you help us with our weight?
Because we know that dropping some weight can also help in the process.
Especially in the type 2 diabetics. So we have researched and actually developed a slender shot. It's called Be Slender. And we will be administering that shot for patients.
Can I get several?
You can get several shots. You can get several shots. And so we're really excited about this new product offering to help our patients who are also trying to lose weight. They tell me, Dr. Lewis, you've given me all this energy now.
Right.
I want to go out and lose some weight. Can you help me with that as well? And we think this really can.
All right. Dr. Lewis, thank you very much. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Diabetes Relief is offering 40% off. You must mention Great Day Houston. The audience receives 40% off these slender shots as well. For more information with Diabetes Relief, just call 281-600-5000, 281-600-5000, or go on diabetesrelief.com. And this is really kind of a special thing we have here in Houston because, as you see, she's flying in from Utah, but we have it right here.
The only place you can get it, right here.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, we were talking about